Hello everybody, welcome to Tom's Tips. Tom's Tips from Wigan. We've not been around for a while, I know that, and I'm very sorry, but I'm retired now, so I don't do a lot of plumbing. But I've got a forum over at tomplum.boards.net, and you're all welcome to come there because you can share other plumbing tips with us, and you can pick up plumbing tips, we can spread them out. And today that's what this is about, because Mr. Dick Puller, I'm sure you've all heard of Mr. Dick Puller from Glasgow, Sir Richard Puller, attaché for the Glasgow I don't know, culture. Culture is the cultural attaché for Glasgow. Has brought along to us this offering of the Puller pump. Now the Puller pump is something where you get stuck. This could come in handy for one or two jobs. It actually is it's a working pump. That's the action of it. It's like a bike pump, but if you're ever on a site and you need a bike pump to remove an airlock or to get rid of some water, there's none available. People don't leave them on the bikes anymore because they get nicked. But you can quickly make one of these out of bits of scrap copper that's on the site, out of your toolbox, in your shed, whatever, and it might pull you out of the muck. So let's just have a quick look at it now. And, well, before I do, I'll tell you some of its uses. Right, one use that it's used a lot for is when you go to a cistern. Now you're changing the filler valve on the cistern, you turn the water off, of course the cistern's full of water. You can flush most of it away, but there's always that bit at the bottom that you can't get rid of. Normally you'd put a flux tub in or something and keep singing it out like that, or a mop, put a mop in and keep mopping it. But with this, you can put that in the bottom, suck it out, put it in the pan, blow it out. Another use for it is if you're having an airlock in a system somewhere, you can't get rid of it, you can connect that to your system and give it a good few pumps and it might get rid of it for you. So let's have a closer look. Okay, so let's get down to the basic principle of how this works. If I was to drop that copper, I'll just dip it, not drop it, but dip it into that barrel and lift it up, nothing will stay in that pipe because the top is all wide open. But if I put my thumb over that top and stop the air from getting out, the water that's in can't escape until I let go of my thumb. And let's get the whole thing in picture, and the water drops. So what I'm doing, I'm dipping in water, blocking the air escape and lifting the water that's in that pipe, and it can't get out until I release that thumb. And that's the basic principle of how this is working. Right, so the next key important on this is the reducer. This is a push fit reducer, a speed fit push reducer. I'm taking the cap off that, the end, and I've got to enlarge it so that the push fit 15mm pipe will push through that. Now what's stopping it is there's a collar that stops it from sliding down, because in using it in its normal position you don't want that sliding down, you need that to stop. But in our case we don't need that to stop, we want that to go straight through. So I'm going to remove that collar just simply by, I'm going to drill it out. 1/2" drill. And that's cleared that out. This is a 15mm pipe. So that just won't go through, so we're going to have to clear that out now using a slightly bigger drill, which I haven't got. So I'm going to use that drill and give it a bit of wobbling. Give it a bit of wobbling until we can slide that in and out. Needs a bit more wobbling. Beautiful remove. Now then, that's what we're looking for. Slide through that reducer with ease. Right, so I'm going to rebuild that reducer like it came apart. Rubber, and then there's that O-ring that fixes it all together, and a little bit of this Vaseline. It's got a million uses and it's cheap. You go by and using that silicone grease, that's not cheap. This is just the same and it's dirt cheap, and that will go in there and slide down and back. Of course the problem is, because this is speed fit, that locking ring is going to lock it from going back, so we need to do something about that. Right, so we'll take it apart again. So we'll take that apart and we'll pull that locking ring out of there. The tool of my choice at the moment is this bit of chisel. Any way you get out, whichever way it goes, you'll have to force it out. Try not to force one of your fingers off at the same time. Probably better to put it in a vise and yank it out with something. The thing is to remember, this fitting, not to use it on the job you're doing, because you could come unstuck big time. Right, so we've got the locking ring out, we've got the rubber in, we've got all the doings in. And now that forms a seal, a movable seal. Right, on to the next stage. Okay, so now we've got that together, the next thing we need to do is to form a bit of a lip on this end there with a little hammer. So we're just going to hammer a little edge on that corner of the pipe so that it won't be able to pull through the fitting. So you see how I've knocked a little edge on that fitting there so that it can't pull through the reducer. It'll stop there, that's forming a stop. Then all we need to do then, a message for me there, all we need to do then is to push that reducer into a coupling to form the bottom half of the pump, which in this case is a bit of 22mm pipe, and there we've got the basic pump. Now for this side, Dick has put a T on there, and you can several ways of coupling up to the T, but I've just put an elbow here because it's whatever's come to hand quick. You can get all of that with your hand. You can put your thumb over it and use it in that sort of action, and it does work. So next job is field trials. Let's go and see if it works. Okay, so now I'm going to try the field trial. It is a field trial in a toilet. Now this toilet, we've got the water off and we want to change this valve. Of course it's full of water in the bottom. So what do? Normally we get a little cup in there, or if you've got time you can take the cistern off and empty it. But with one of these little tattles here, this gizmo, we can stick that into the water, put your thumb over the end, so this is sucking up the water, and then just empty it down the pan. Of course it's going to take a while, not all that long really, because each one is there's at least a cupful in there, and that's what empty it eventually. So we have to thank Mr. Dick Puller for this little invention he's made, and hope to see him again on the forum. So there you again, thanks again to Sir Richard Puller, the Cultural Attaché for Glasgow, for bringing this gizmo, which is soon to be available in the shops. The patent is applied for. If you go making one yourself, then I don't suppose you'll come across any difficulties. It's easy enough to do. You can make it from any bits of copper that you've got available, and without any fear of infringing any patent rights. So there you go. We'll see you all again soon.